just in, President Trump and President Bukele of El Salvador said that they will not be returning Kilmar Abrego Garcia back to the United States, despite the fact that the U.S. Supreme Court ordered that the U.S. government facilitate his return. This is all after he was wrongly deported to El Salvador. I'm an immigration lawyer and I've personally brought back people who have been deported. So let me be very clear. They absolutely can bring him back. They just don't want to. In the Oval Office today, Bukele said that returning him would be preposterous and claimed that he won't smuggle a terrorist into the United States. Even though this man has never been convicted of a crime in the US or in El Salvador, and even though there's no evidence that he's a gang member despite allegations of the government. And while this was happening, Trump sat next to Bukele and said nothing. Now, Pam Bondi, who's Trump's attorney general, said that they could send a plane to bring him back. But now they're pretending like their hands are tied. But it really is very simple. Bukele said that they didn't want to release a terrorist into their community, but they don't have to do that. He could be under guard the entire time. And all it takes is for ICE to coordinate with their headquarters to get a letter to allow him to board a plane and come to the United States. DHS would be responsible for paying for his ticket since he is somebody who was wrongfully deported. And once he boards that plane, he would present himself to CBP in the United States. It's really not that complicated. So what's happening in this situation is really not a matter of logistics or foreign policy the way the Trump administration is framing this. It's a matter of defiance. If they can deport someone who was protected by an immigration judge back in 2019, then wrongfully deport him, then ignore a Supreme Court order, and throw around words like terrorist without any evidence, what's stopping them from doing it to anyone? And Trump took it even further today. On mic today, he said if it's a homegrown criminal, I have no problem deporting them. So yes, Trump is openly suggesting to deport U.S. citizens. And let's be very clear, that's illegal. It's completely unconstitutional. It violates the 14th Amendment, the 5th Amendment, the 8th Amendment that defines cruel and unusual punishment. It violates due process and every foundational principle of being a citizen. This isn't punishment, this is banishment, and it completely goes against the Constitution. So when Trump says he's open to deporting U.S. citizens, he's not just saying something reckless. He's threatening to blow through the Constitution and use ICE as a weapon against anyone he decides is undesirable. And he is saying that the people he wants to deport are considered to be violent criminals, the worst of the worst. But who decides that? This is really dangerous rhetoric, and again, 100% unconstitutional. So if you care about accountability, it's really important to do something about it. Call your congressional representatives, hold them accountable, make them do something to push this administration to comply with the court order. It should be demanded that Trump abide by the law, as well as be held accountable for ignoring the law. We either have checks and balances or we have a dictatorship. For more immigration news and information, feel free to give us a follow.